oftentimes we struggle with this idea that success means a woman who has a man. We equate that to success, and it's not. That's not success. Getting the man is easy. Every single one of you guys can get a man, no problem. Getting a quality, high-value man who will love your soul, now, that's a different story. Especially when you add on that you want that kind of man to love you long-term and to have a healthy relationship long-term. That's what I'm here to prepare you to do, okay? Who here wants to be in a healthy, long-term, loving relationship that leads to marriage? You want to figure out what it takes in order to be in a healthy, loving relationship with your romantic best friend for a lifetime instead of just a couple of months. A masculine, high-value man who is willing to do for you, pour into you, earn you, pursue you, who's willing to make your life easier, add value to your life, have your back, be your partner in building an empire, being your partner and supporting and uplifting you so that you can live the life of your dreams. Here's the important thing that you need to understand about you declaring that that's what you want. When you speak out into the universe, what it is that you want, and you can admit it, then you start the process of bringing it to you. And you also start the process of subconsciously telling your mind that you're open and receptive to being willing to have that kind of love. When you want to act tough, talking about, I don't want that, I don't need that, I don't need a man, I'm happy all by myself. When you're doing that, you're also speaking that into the universe, and that order is being placed. So the first thing you got to do is you got to be absolutely specific and careful about how you are speaking over yourself and what you are asking for. And I see so many women speak death, heartbreak, and destruction over themselves and over their love lives. Because for some strange reason, we live in a world, we live in a society that tells women that we have to earn love. We have to operate in a way that is acceptable and beneficial to men. And we date like that. We date in a way where we are trying to prove our worth, our lovability, and our value to a man. And ladies, I understand that it is counterintuitive, but it doesn't work with the biology and the science of attraction. It doesn't work. So if you are starting off, when you are dating somebody and you're starting off by trying to prove why he should choose you, you have already lost. And I'm going to break down the science so that you can understand why. And if you've heard this and you're still single, then you need to hear it again. Okay? Repetition is the master of all skill. So listen and learn, because I always add something different, new, that will help you to be able to have it sink in, because it needs to sink into your subconscious mind. Ladies, this isn't a sidetrack. I'm not new to this, but I'm definitely true to this. Just so you understand, for those of you who are getting ready and you're calling your friends, your girlfriends, your mamas, your cousins, your aunties who keep bombing in love, just so you know, the reason why I am here is because I was exactly where you are. I was where a lot of you find yourself, because so many women are struggling with chronic singleitis. That means that you're chronically single when you don't want to be. And you're constantly frustrated in dating. You're frustrated when it comes to online dating. You're frustrated with attracting the same man with a different face. So what we did is we created a formula based in science to help you to attract the life and the love of your dreams that involves healing your love blocks and increasing your feminine energy. And in order for us to do that, it's important for you to understand that there is a science to attraction. And here it is. Ladies, when you meet somebody online, understand that there are several barriers, all right? You, as a woman, you think different biochemically, you operate different, your brain even functions differently than a man. I'm going to show you the author that I'm talking about as I'm speaking, because I already know there's some people that's in here that just like to hate, because that's what haters do. Okay? And I like to back whatever I'm saying up with documentation, because what I'm getting ready to share with you about the science of attraction has been studied multiple times. It has been documented multiple times. And so many women are doing dating completely wrong because they simply don't understand. So when a man sees you initially, this is in person, he sees you, he's attracted to you. Why is he attracted to you? Because you've triggered his testosterone response. Testosterone is the hunter hormone. It's a sex drive hormone. That means that he is driven to have sex with you. He doesn't know you. This isn't The Notebook. This isn't Love and Basketball. This isn't Cinderella. It's none of that, ma'am. He wants to get your sugar snacks, okay? Your kibbles and bits, your yummy, your gummy bears. That's what he wants when he initially sees you. Now, when you meet online and you guys are just chatting, he is interested in your picture, but he's not having a biochemical response. The way you think about online dating is you got to understand that there are several other additional steps that are involved in order for you to activate the biochemical process of attraction. So your job when you're dating online is to vet this man before he comes into your physical world. Your job when you're dating online is to vet these men to see if they deserve to be in front of you. Why should you take this seriously? Why should you be careful and vet these men? Because ladies, they're not like you. Please put it in the chat. Men are not like us. Men are not like us. Put it in the chat. Men are not like us. Whether it's Spanish, French, German, Russian, Hindi, whatever it is, put in your language in the chat. Men are not like us. They are not like us. And when you date, you gotta date based on understanding how men operate biochemically. Men don't even know how they operate biochemically. But you need to understand, because if you don't, then you're operating to your disadvantage. That's the first thing that you need to understand. So when you're dating online, your goal is to see if they're worthy of being in your space. Why? Because ladies, when you meet a guy and you find him attractive, you like the words that he is saying to you. So when you are talking to a guy, you don't have to see him in order for you to trigger the production of oxytocin. Oxytocin is a woman's bonding hormone. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? You already are at a disadvantage. When you meet a man and you're attracted to him and you like him for God knows what you're liking, I don't know because you don't know him. But when you like the illusion of him, then you have triggered oxytocin. Oxytocin is produced when a mommy has a baby. It causes bonding. When you have sex with a man, you release a large amount of oxytocin that causes extreme bonding. That means that you are bonding mentally with somebody that you don't even know. Somebody who you may never even like. All because of the image, the illusion that you created for this person. So you need to be careful before you let somebody in your world. But after you do, when you guys go on a date and when you find him attractive, then you are releasing estrogen. That's your sex hormone. He's releasing testosterone. That is his sex drive hormone. His drive, based on biology, is to get it. Okay? According to Dr. Helen Fisher, it's lust at first sight. Dr. Helen Fisher, Google her if you need to. It is not love at first sight. It is lust at first sight. It is biology that gives us the boost we need. Think about it like a springboard, okay? Biology gives you the spring to spring you forward, but then it requires more in order for you to keep flying. And the reason why most relationships are not lasting nowadays is because most people do not know how to properly choose the right partner. Most people don't know how to choose the right partner because, hell, they don't even know how to choose themselves. They're sitting there walking around with all of their love blocks, all of their traumas, all of their issues, and all of that operates as a baggage that pulls you down so that when you're springing forward and you're flying high in the beginning, you end up dropping towards the end, and that leads to the demise of the relationship. So the way you start is the way you finish, which is why it's so important that you start off right. It is so important that when you're dating, that you date right. Get yourself right first before you start dating so that you can attract better quality men. Because when he starts to get it, okay, your gelatin, your pudding, your Scooby snacks, your slushy, yes, ma'am. When he's trying to get all of that, you're entering in the courting phase. And that's when he's so nice. That's when he's so giving. That's when he's showing up for you. That's when he's saying all the good things you want to hear. That's when he's texting you consistently. That's when he's taking you out on dates. That's when he's doing all the things, bringing flowers, bringing gifts, whatever, in order to get it, to get you. Now understand that when you are doing what it is that I've taught you to do, when you follow the formula, okay? Based in science called the Diva love formula. When you follow it, then you understand how to get this man's heart, starting with his mind. You got to start with his mind first. Men don't fall in love down there first. That's the way they try to connect. Loving connection is one of the 6 human needs, but it's either love or connection, and connection can be dismissed easily. The love, for a man to fall in love, it takes a lot. But when he really falls in love, a man falls in love harder and takes longer to get over that love than a woman. Go look it up. That's the science, ladies. So while you think that men have the advantage, they don't. They don't. You have the advantage. You've always had the advantage. That's the reason why you have been brainwashed to act like a man. That's why you have been lied to and told that you need to look a certain way in order to get a man. That's why you have been encouraged to step out of your feminine energy, because your feminine energy is like kryptonite to them. They're vulnerable to it. So you have been convinced to step out of it so that they cannot succumb to your influence, so that they can be the ones in control, even though it's to their disadvantage. So when you understand your true power and you step in your true nature as a feminine goddess, ma'am, nobody can resist you. And I mean that. And I get it. I get it. We live in this world where women are told that everybody needs to look a certain way in order to be able to attract love. But what you find attractive is going to be different than what somebody else finds attractive. And that's the same way with a man. What one man finds attractive, another man is not attracted to it because that's not his woman. That's not his one. But ma'am, you and you and you and you and you have a man who's looking for just you. You are his perfect flavor of ice cream. He doesn't want anything else but you. You're sitting there starving yourself. You're sitting there getting butt surgeries and breast implants and you're doing all this. And I'm not knocking it if that's what you want to do to feel good. But if you're doing that to get a man, ma'am, then that's bass backwards. You're working from the outside in instead of working from the inside out. It doesn't make any sense, especially when the right man is going to love your droopy tatas, okay? The right man's going to love your thick hips. The right man is going to love every imperfection about you, but you got to love you first. And when you're in the courting phase and you know yourself and you love yourself and you're okay with walking away, that man will start to fall for you. Biochemically, he's falling for you. And what happens when a man is falling for you biochemically? His testosterone starts to drop and so does his serotonin. And as his serotonin is dropping, it causes obsessive thoughts. As his serotonin drops, it makes him feel a bit stressed a little bit. That's where this theory about you need to stress a man out in order for him to love you comes from. No, that's not how it works. Okay? The fact that his testosterone is dropping is already driving up his cortisol. He's already starting to feel stressed. The fact that his serotonin is dropping, he's starting to feel stressed, but it's a different kind of stress. He's feeling good as he's thinking about you, as he's trying to make you happy. In order to relieve his stress, he wants to give to you. He wants to do for you. The chase and the pursuit feeds his dopamine. He starts to release dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good hormone. So when you allow a man an opportunity to pursue you, and I'm not talking about playing games. I'm not talking about being Fort Knox. I'm talking about you intentionally dating for data. You intentionally dating, understanding that dating is an interview process. And if he wants any part of you, he has to earn it. So as he's pursuing you and the serotonin is going down and the testosterone is going down, what happens is he starts to produce vasopressin. As he's producing the vasopressin is his bonding hormone. Just like oxytocin is a woman's bonding hormone, vasopressin is a man's bonding hormone. However, here's the scientific caveat. And this is according to Dawn Maslar. The book, The Broken Picker Fixer is a good one. And she has another book called Men Chase, Women Choose. This is Dawn Maslar. And Dawn Maslar says that when a man is falling for you, he's producing a high amount of dopamine and vasopressin. Sounds great. He's all into you. He's showing up. He really likes you. However, that can drop like that if you have sex with him too soon. According to the research, if you have sex with a man too soon, you're intimate too soon. And for all the ladies who are confused, ma'am, using your mouth, sexting, all of that counts. Stop trying to circle the gates and think that you have a workaround. That's not how this works. When you are intimate, when you're sexual too soon, it interrupts his vasopressin increase and it causes vasopressin to drop. Now, here's the thing. In order for this man to bond to you long term, that means that he needs to produce vasopressin and dopamine for a period of time. Per the science, Dawn Maslar, he needs to be producing it for at least 3 months, 2.5 to 3 months, because that's how long it takes in order for him to produce the receptor sites that can catch the vasopressin. So if he's unable to catch the vasopressin, then guess what? He's not bonding to you, ma'am. And no, it's not the 90-day rule, because for some men, it takes longer for him to produce the vasopressin receptors. Waiting 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, following that rule will get you hurt. Do you know how many women sit up there talking about, I'm going to wait 90 days. And the man, he will wait right along with you while he's having sex with somebody else. That's not what does it. No, ma'am. You got to keep a man on the hook for you long enough for him to produce the vasopressin receptors. So how do you do that?